It's quilt day. So exciting. I'm Pat Sloan. Thank you for being here in my quilting neighborhood. You're in my studio. It is the third Saturday in March, which is Quilt Day. It started out as National Quilt Day and now it's International Quilt Day. I just call it Quilt Day. I think every day is a quilt day, but it's fun to have an actual day to be Quilt Day. And all across the country, people have been doing things. Lots of you in my quilting neighborhood at Facebook have said that you've been out all day doing either things with your guild or going to quilt shows or quilt shops, doing extra fun things with your friends. And those of us who were at home like me were sewing online, and I had given you my free Zigzag table runner pattern. So I know a lot of people are sewing that, or you're just sewing other things you wanted to sew. So this week I wanted to show you a bit about what I've been doing, what I've been working on, what I've been sharing, and then I have a little surprise to show you, something exciting that arrived that I want to give you a little bit more information on. Excuse me. So, okay, I'm gonna have this allergy cough. Not so good, but that's okay. We'll get through it. I've got my iced coffee here, so get that working. So my weather here in Virginia has been pretty nice for March. I mean, we can't complain. It was like 68 degrees yesterday and sunny and warm. It was amazing. It's cooler today. It feels more like, it's not even feeling like March yet. I mean, it's just amazing. So I am a happy camper here where I can go for a walk. So I took a walk. It's windy like all get out today. So my hair is like, but I did a walk anyways. And did a lot of other quilty stuff here. I had to work some today on Quilt Day. And then I did a video earlier where I was showing you cutting my zigzag quilt. And then I'm going to show you, or a table runner. I'm going to show you the table runner in a little bit. But first this week on the flower bouquet sew along, the Block Wednesday. So this was the block that I did, which was green grass, because I'm just, feeling like, well, it's all about flowers and different things, but these colors, you're gonna see, these colors are speaking to me right now. It just feels like spring is coming. If you can do green and a little bit of purple, that just is amazing. So these were sew and flip. Did you make yours yet? You do this unit here, sew and flip. And what I did is I took all of those and made little star points, and then made this little mug rug. I haven't quilted it yet, but I think when I quilt the table runner, I'll go ahead and just quilt this up really quickly, because it's pretty easy. All right, so I have to just throw that stuff out of the way. Everything gets very crowded up here. I don't know what the deal is, but it's always very crowded. I'm going to show you the zigzag table runner in a bit, so I want to show you some other things first. Now, a lot of people are asking about the tulips. How are we going to do that? So the big tulips, how are we going to do the sew along? Ta-da! Dee-dee-dee. So what I'm thinking is, people are still waiting on their book. So you have your book. If you want to start planning, that's fine. Go right ahead. I cannot do anything on this next week because I have some really heavy duty deadlines, and then I go out of town to teach, and I'll be gone about 5 days. And I have another big event, family event that I have to do. So after that, the following week, I will get organized. I think, it's more like 5 posts, I just do 5 posts, and basically you're assigned like, okay, so 4 tulip blocks this week, between the 2 posts. And I don't know, do you like a post every week? Do you like a post every other week? I don't want to go too long, because if we're starting the beginning of April, you want to have it done to hang up, like that'd be nice for May, or end of April. So I'm thinking every week in April, we just assign blocks, and then you can make the wall hanging, or you can make it even bigger if you wanted. So I have all these options. So now I have to decide what to do. Like, I'm not sure if I would just, show you a block and assign it, show you a little tip on how to sew parts of it, because it's just repeating the blocks. So if you have thoughts on what helps you stay motivated to do that kind of thing, let me know, because that's always helpful. And this is, again, if you're just new, this is from my brand new book, Celebrate the Seasons. The Tulip quilt is in there, and let me show you it. Okay, this is the full quilt there. So it's a wall hanging size, but if you wanted it for a lap quilt, you could just put another border on it, and it's pretty much that size. So it's a nice wall hanging size. Okay, the other fun thing that came that I have to show you is this brand new stand came the other day, and I am super excited about the stand because, so can you read that? This is a stand to hold your books, your patterns when you're working. So let's take a look. Let's take a look down here. So here's the box. Just ripped my mic off. Okay, put back on. So here is the box, and it is turquoise, perfect. It's a big metal stand. Comes in wrap, it just slips in here. So pretty much what this is to, put your book on while you're working. So if you've got a pattern open, or if you're sewing on a book and you want to, put it like this, you can put it on your table. And if you're doing the cross stitch patterns, I think that would be great for this. But even a book, if you're going to have it open, it's got a little ledge there, so that's good. Can go like this. Oops, all my stuff's falling out. I don't want to lose all that. So this came in, and I will link you to that. I have been wanting some sort of stand for a long time, because I've been finding that when I'm looking at a pattern, even like a single sheet of pattern, if it's up like this, it's sort of out of the way, because this doesn't have a very large footprint. I mean, it's wide, but it's not very deep. So I can just set it on the edge while I'm working. It's like, and that's perfect. Perfect. It's very heavy too, so it is not going to tip over. I gotta put it back in the box so I can move it. I have to put it back over here. So that is the book stand. And I know I used to have some sort of book stand years ago, but I don't know what happened to it. Those things just sort of disappear, don't they? They sort of just fly away. I don't know what happened. Okay, the other project that I did a little bit of work on is Norm. Hey, Norm. Norm the gnome, which I have been just smitten with Norm and Nanette. There's two of them. So two gnomes, Norm and Nanette. And I made Norm. I made one Norm. There he is. He's big. He's like big as my tulip. That's really cool. I could do tulips and Norms and Nanettes. I could maybe mix them up. I wonder if I could do that. How big are they? They're about the same size. So this is, but I just have to add a little bit onto the tulips. They could be in the same quilt. That might be kind of cute. I don't know. I'll probably just make them as is, because I don't want to have to think. I just want to follow it. So I was writing that sometimes, like last week I was saying, do you cut everything and then sew, or do you sew, cut, sew, cut, sew? And I tend to be a cut, sew, but when I came to this one, I thought I just want to do one block, but because it's all laid out really, really well by the designer to cut everything first, I was like, I really need to go back and just do the faces. That's the important part. So I did like the major cuts, but then, so then you do sub-cutting and sew units. So anyway, I made a bunch of Norm faces. I didn't do the beards yet, but I did the faces. And Norm and Nanette's faces are made differently, so just so you know, they're not the same kind of face. They have a slightly different construction. So I have this pile of faces, which is kind of weird. I don't know if I like the eyeballs looking at me. So I had to put them under the book maybe. Is that weird or what? So then Nanette's hair is this. And I've decided that I really want to have more variety. Norm is just a white beard. I'm not going to fuss with making different white beards. I'm just not really into that. But with Nanette, my grandma, my Nana was a redhead. And she was a redhead her entire life because, you know, she got what she called it, liquid sunshine, I think is what she called it. So I decided that Nanette will be different fabrics. So I went through my stash and I found these ones. And I might do one in the original because this piece here is very small. I don't have a lot of it. So I might see how many I get. But I'll get as many as I can and do at least one in the original fabric. So that is my status on him. But the next few days before I leave to travel, I have a lot of other work to do. So this may be something that happens later, like when I come back, after I come back, because I just don't know that I can even think about any of that. I shouldn't be, because I should be doing the other stuff. So today, okay, wait, before that, what do I do first? Do I show you the fun stuff first? Fun new thing I have? Maybe I should do that first. Let me, It's always like, what should I do? What should I do? Okay, I'm going to show you the runner first. Because it's quilt day, I'm going to show you the runner first. I used this super cute Trixie fabric. I had a bunch of different fabrics I could use. And I was like, what should I do? What should I do? And every time I looked at this, I thought, they just make me happy. They are so darn cute, these little mice. And I love the colors. Everything feels like spring. And it has all this gingham. There's more mice. And there's lovely, darling, there's a print. But there's lovely, there they are, these little strawberries. This is Heather Ross's fabric, and I just love her artwork. It just is precious. And then she had this fun pennant, like a harlequin. I don't know what it is, but it's all the fabrics mixed together. There's more strawberries. And there's all different colors. So there's lots and lots of colors. I really, really love the yellow. This yellow with the pink strawberries. So I could have organized all this. I could have said, okay, let's, do yellows, or let's do, whatever. I could have, but I didn't. I decided instead that I would just use them all. Because of the zigzag, I'm making half square triangles. And that means, I needed to have some sort of alternate fabric because because of using all these different colors, and I'm only doing a table runner, if I don't control, for me, if I don't control the color a little bit somehow to give it a balance, I feel like it would get mushy and not be as, in my vision, it wouldn't be my vision. So I decided this morning on the white with black dots, and here is the runner. So it just feels like spring. It is happy. It's got all the fabrics. There's two of each, but one of them. I didn't cut the white, the mice on white, so I left that one. But I have all of these, and see, so here, I'll pull back. Ta-da, there's the runner. Now I didn't get it basted yet to quilt it, and I'll do that tonight. And I have these, I have a pack of table runner from batting. This is from Happy Cloud batting. I really like this. This is from the Fat Quarter Shop. They put these out, all these fun sizes. So I'm going to use the table runner one. And I'm just going to go into my stash and find a green fabric for the back. Just something that I have that maybe I can use up, like get a chunk of it and use it up. And I'm going to save the rest of the Trixie. I don't know. I sort of like this concept like this. And I thought, well, I could do a whole quilt like this. I don't want to get carried, like I said, I can't go do other things right now. I have to stay focused. So that is what's going on with my table runner. So tonight I will continue to work on that. And so now I want to show you my new friend. My new friend. It's like a new office assistant, right? So I'm always telling you about my office assistants. So this is my new friend. You know, I sew on a Baby Lock. And I sew on the Baby Lock Solaris. That's their newest machine. It's a higher end machine. It has mega functions. It does embroidery. It has my designs in it. There's all kinds of stuff about the Solaris that is incredible and wonderful. I've used the Crescendo, and which has no embroidery, and I've used it, and I have the Destiny 2, which also has embroidery. But I wanted to tell you that Baby Lock has a wide range of machines. They don't just have high-end machines. They have everything from a small travel machine to starter machines to every range in between. So my Baby Lock family, I'm a Baby Lock ambassador, my Baby Lock family and I chatted and I said, you know, I'd really like to show all of you the range of machines, not just the high-end machine. I'd like to also show you a very sturdy, doable machine for anybody that can get it. It is called part of their Genuine collection. They came out in the fall, last fall, with an entire collection of new machines called Genuine. And they're for genuine joy, genuine fulfillment, and they have really cute names. And I asked if I could have the Jubilant. And so let's meet her. Here she is. This is the Jubilant. And I just think she is quite amazing. I will zoom you in a little bit because she's much smaller, but she's not tiny. You know, they have much smaller ones. This one is computerized. They have below this, like I'll link you to them, there's 3 other machines that are not computerized, and this one is. So I wanted to show it to you because it has a whole lot of stitches. So here is the stitch card. That you can set it on top too, but they're all there on the side. And I'll go ahead and turn her on here, the on button. She has a ability to sew with a button, which a ton of you love, because then you do not have to be using your foot pedal. And for many reasons, people don't want to use their foot pedal to sew. They would like to be able to just, you know, push the button. It has speed control. So up here, I can go very slow or very fast. And I'm going to demo this I'm going to side demo this, you know. Do you see, I think I'm talented. There is the 1/4 inch mark right here. And I have it coming on just a standard straight stitch. So if I want to sew just that 1/4 inch, I'm going to take it down because I'm doing this sideways. But there it's sewing along and I'm on the 1/4 inch. You know, if I was in front of it, I would have all kinds of control. If I want to stop, I can do that because I can see my fabric got out of line, right? And so now I can also go much faster than that. But this lets me show you what it can do. It also has a needle threader that comes down. See this thing? That's a needle threader. It works really well. It has needle up and needle down. And then over on the dial side, you can change all the stitches. And so there's actually a blanket stitch. And so I could take it all the way to number 24. What's that? It's 28. There we go. 24. And let me do the blanket stitch for you. I already did it on here, but I will show it to you again. I have to lift the presser foot. Remember, this is not a heavy machine either. It's very light. Okay, so if I want to go through and do the blanket stitch on here, I've got it on fairly slow, but if I wanted to speed it up a little bit, you can see it going a little bit faster. And it's doing a blanket stitch just on a single sheet here, just to show you the stitch. And I'll stop it. Then I'll do needle up, lift the presser foot, bring it out here and cut the thread on the side side cutter. Okay, let me get this. Let me angle this down. There we go. So there you can see the blanket stitch and how it's actually quite beautiful, and I do a lot of blanket stitching, and so I'm very, very picky, and I knew that about this machine, that it was really, really nice. Let's see, can you see on the straight stitch there? See if it's coming in. It's a very nice straight stitch. So this is the Jubilant, and it is quite reasonable. It does so many things. You can also free motion quilt and do those other things that you like to do on a sewing machine. It's you know, it does everything. It is the machine to do it all. It is not heavy. I'm lifting it. I mean, it doesn't weigh 2 pounds or anything like that, but it is not heavy, so that if you wanted to travel with it, or if you frequently need to move it. So I know a lot of you will sew, literally you'll sew on your kitchen table, you'll sew in your dining room, where you have to move it all the time. And if you are a straight stitcher, or you just want to do a few other small things, this is a fabulous machine. And I wanted you to know that Baby Lock has this wide variety of machines, not just the big ones. Even though that's what I use, there is all kinds of things. So for me, if I am going to be traveling, if I'm going to go and sew with my friends, this is what I'll take, because it is sturdy and it is not heavy, and I can pick it up and go. So I just wanted to share that with you, and you'll be seeing this because it's smaller. I can more easily do some demos on it here. Like if I want to do a sit and sew one night, I think I can handle it a little bit, my camera equipment a little bit better here. Remember, we're just, we're not camera experts here, so we do our best to get everything in place to show you what I'm working on. Okay. I have, a couple of people asked some questions, and I thought I'd answer those, and then I have my giveaways. So on Quilt Day, I thought answering some questions would be super fun. So I asked online, but I asked too late, so not a lot of you answered those, but I had saved some questions from a previous time, and so I'll use those ones too. But Vicki asked me, how do I balance work and family? And I'm not sure that that relates as well to me as it might to all of you, because I work with my husband and we don't have children. So I see him all day long, and we work together. It's a small family business, so I see him all the time. So I don't need to balance anything there. This like sometimes I go to your office for a bit, go out to your shed or your garage and work. This. But I do have other family, of course. I have parents. One of my parents lives here. One lives across the country. So, of course, that means, scheduling time there. And I do have family a couple of states away. One not too far that we can travel and go back and home in a day. It takes a day trip. And another bunch of family that's much further away. So that's, again, you have to schedule basically vacation time to go visit family, just like anybody does. I mean, I have friends, and I have friends that I see every month, and also sometimes then we go to lunch or go do something else. So I don't get to see them nearly as much as I'd like to, but I think it'd be great if you have, maybe for the question this week, it might be wonderful for you to share how you balance work and family, or quilting and family rather. I'm sorry, quilting and family. How do you balance quilting and family? Maybe you don't have a problem, but do you also have quilting friends? This is sort of like a combo question for this week. I'll repeat it. I hope I remember it, because I just thought of it. I'm going to make myself a note. There. At least I hope I remember what that meant. Okay, so the other question was, Kim asked me, I didn't get the book out, but there's a book that a lot of you bought called Winter Wonderland, which is a Christmas quilt that has pieced like items on it, like a Christmas tree and a mitten. They're all pieced. There's no applique. And I said I'd host a sew along for that. And I will do it this summer, but I also asked the Fast Quarter Shop if they would put a kit together that was similar. You can't have the exact same fabric, but they're similar. And we looked at all the fabrics coming up for Christmas, and I selected a group of fabric that looks very similar. So they're going to put a kit together for that. So once that kit's available, then we'll organize to sew. And I think there's like 12 blocks in that, so it'll probably be like, once a week, you sew a block. So I don't know, maybe I will tack that on to my Wednesday, like for the Wednesday block that's free. Then also if you're sewing, this is the block you would do for Winter Wonderland if you're sewing that, kind of a combo thing. I got to try to make it easy on myself because I have a lot of sew-alongs going on this year and it gets crazy. Okay, so the other thing that somebody asked a little bit ago that I thought was a really interesting question is Diane asked this, should I, she was saying, do I need to pick a style? Do I need to be a style quilter? I make one kind of quilt, then I make a different kind of quilt, then I make another kind of quilt, and you don't look at them, they don't look like they're all kind of made by the same person or have the same style. Think like a designer might have, like a designer's style. And personally, I don't think you as a person who has quilting as your hobby needs a style. You only need a style if you want one. Like some people decorate their homes very specifically. They might use a certain color palette in their home, and pretty much when they make quilts for their home, that's the color palette. Maybe they like Civil War, or maybe they really love a beachy theme and it's all turquoises and coral, so they will make quilts that fit their environment. But then they'll make quilts for a baby or for their daughter-in-law or a neighbor, and they fit those people. So we as makers, quilt makers for fun, tend to make all kinds of things. We don't really need to stick to one thing unless that appeals to you to stick to one thing. All right, so I think that's good for the questions. On Quilt Day, I have 2 giveaways. Where is that document? So I know. I'm gonna find it. Okay, from last week, I have 2 people, and these go to you. So you need to email me, pat@patsloan.com, because I don't have any way to get your email on YouTube. I don't have any way to contact you. So first of all, Diane Huling, she wrote that, the question, first let me tell you the question. Okay, Diane, hold on. You won the t-shirt. And I'll throw in some other goodies with this, okay? So the question was, everybody was answering, do you cut everything out? Let's talk about like the gnome quilt. Do you cut everything out and then sew? Or do you like cut a little bit, sew, or does it depend on the project? So Diane said she likes to cut everything out first and then start sewing. But she's nearing the end of a sewing together 24 house blocks. And so she's starting to cut other things now. So she's kind of talking about how, her process is right now as she's kind of transitioning from one to the other. So you won the Stitch Squad t-shirt, plus I'll toss in some other goodies, some surprise goodies for that. Then Ann McMillan, you have won this package of fabric and the cross stitch pattern and the charms and the little floss winders. And your answer was, love your fireside chats. As far as the question, I normally cut sew, which is kind of what I do for a lot of things. I find it easier. It gives me the opportunity to play a bit more with the fabrics. And that's a good point. So if you're not using a kit, or you want to just try things out, that's what I'm always afraid of too, Anne, that I want to see what it looks like. I don't want to cut everything up and then go like, I really don't like that background. That isn't working at all. It worked for one block, it's not working for the rest of them. So I really like, even when I'm designing quilts that I'll make into patterns for my books or whatever, a lot of times those are all, most of the time, they're cut, sew, cut, sew. But I can see the value of cutting everything at once, like the gnome, because it's all laid out that way. It's all a kit, and I'm not really going to change up much personally on that one. So, so that worked. All right, so this week, now next weekend, I'm not available to chat. So I put on my calendar for Monday. I don't, because I'm out of town, I don't come back into town until Sunday afternoon, and I know I'm not going to want to jump in here and do this, but if for some reason I do, I will do it Sunday evening. But it's not likely. If I've been gone several days that I want to come back in and video, I might need to be doing some other things to catch up on work. But I will do one. Where is my? Hold on. I'm trying to get it. I have lots of fun stuff. So these are, not even sure what size they are. 2, 4, 6. They're like fat 8s. I think that might be what they are. I'm not totally sure, but they're these rolls, and I have 2 of them. So I'll probably pick 2 names, 1 for each, and one's fig tree and the other is, I forget the designer, but it's a sewing theme. I know this one's a sewing theme. It's really, really cute because I've used it in some other stuff. So the question, let's help each other out, because I think everybody tries to balance their family and their quilting, you know. Plus, the other side of that, let's say you don't have any issues, you know, you don't have to worry about scheduling your family. Excuse me. Then tell me who you sew with. Do you have some friends? Do you have internet friends that you sew with? You know, do you like go shopping and send pictures, text message to your buddy? You know, do you meet once a month? Do you have a guild? Tell me that side, one or the other. And then we come back next time. These will go to new people. Go live at your house instead of my house. So I'm Pat Sloan. This is my fireside chat on Quilt Day. And I am so thrilled to have you join me. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, for catch up every week. I hope you enjoyed meeting the Jubilant, one of the genuine collection from Baby Lock. And that thing is coming off the wall after this. And I am going to trim it and put binding on it. But I'm also going to quilt my table runner. So there you go. You heard it here. I can't promise that'll be back up next time I chat. So I'm not sure they'll get the binding done, but I'm going to do it. It's coming down. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great week, and I will chat with you in my Facebook group, Quilt Along with Pat Sloan. Welcome and be part of my quilting neighborhood.